Ever wondered how a professional artist creates abstract art? In this video, I'll show you my entire process from blank canvas to finished paintings. Hi there, I'm Janine. I'm an artist and I share my creative journey on this channel. Creating a series of abstract paintings is quite a lengthy process, at least the way I paint, and I work with lots of layers, different techniques and different materials. I've just finished my latest series of abstract paintings, which is available on my website by the way, and I thought I'd take you through the whole process from start to finish. Finding inspiration. First of all, I need to find some inspiration. A great way of doing this is to go through my sketchbooks and take note of anything I like. This could be a certain color palette, particular marks or materials, or the way I've layered different elements. I also go through work I've previously made and find things I would like to explore further. Sometimes I also go on Pinterest to find images I'm drawn to, or go through photos I've taken recently of things that I found interesting. I then distill what I found into only a few ideas that are most exciting to me and pin those onto a mood board. I keep my board where I see it often, but I don't constantly refer back to it to make sure I am staying on track. It's more of a subconscious influence. Color palette. Next, I select the colors I want to work with for this series. I recommend selecting a type of each primary color along with a dark mixing color like brown or black. Using primary colors allows me to have the biggest range of possible colors. I paint swatches, mixing the colors I've selected, and then choose my favorite 5 to 8 swatches and pre-mix those colors in tubs that I can easily get out during the painting process. These are for convenience, but I will still mix other colors from the primaries during the process if needed. Blank canvas. The blank canvas can be very intimidating. To get started, I use leftover paint from previous series to cover the paintings. I'm very loose with this and simply enjoy putting the paint on the canvas. Pretty much all of this will be covered with lots of layers, so I don't feel the pressure to put anything useful down yet. Experiment with materials. The early layers will mostly get covered up later, so I use this opportunity to experiment with lots of different materials. A few of my favorites are water-soluble Neocolor 2 crayons, soft pastels and acrylic paint markers. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Experiment with techniques. I also experiment with different tools and techniques. Palette knives, glazing and even finger painting all add depth and interest to the paintings. Bright colours. Another thing I like to do in the early layers is adding saturated colours. I tend to prefer more muted shades, so I start with the opposite of that. This way, once I add more muted colours later on, glimpses of bright colours from previous layers shine through and add a richness you would not get otherwise. Layering. I continue to layer different materials and techniques to create visual texture. At this point, I'm staying playful and I'm not thinking about composition and design yet. I'm simply building interest with my layers. Sometimes I already like a piece in the early stages, but there simply isn't enough depth yet. In that case, I have to be brave and paint over it, knowing that this will only make the painting stronger in the end. Create spaciousness. Once I have a lot of marks and the painting looks very busy, I paint over larger areas with solid colour to create a sense of spaciousness. At this point, I also start looking at the composition and make sure I have enough value contrast and shapes in different sizes. Keep on playing. Even in the late stages, I still try and be playful, be brave and paint over elements that aren't working and go back and forth between adding paint intuitively and then stepping back and evaluating the composition. Finishing. further I get towards the end, the more I refine the composition and colours. I change less and less on a painting in a session until there is nothing more that is bothering me, which to me means the painting is finished. I hope this gave you a good insight into my process. If you want to watch me paint this series in depth, I've made a playlist of the full process. Just click the link in the description box. Thanks and bye bye.